Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back for video number 2. I'm so excited, and today I'm going to do my first tutorial, and the tutorial is warm looks for cool girls. And that means if you're loving the warm, summer, fun, bronzy looks that are so popular right now with all of the warm palettes like the Modern Renaissance palette and the Naked Heat palette and so many others, the Kylie palette, whatever that one's called, but you're like me and you find that you look much better in cool tones, I have kind of a solution for you. And the palette that we're going to be working with is the Natasha Denona eye palette in number 2, and the other key ingredient is going to be the NYX Lingerie Lid Eye Tint. And I think the two of those together will help you create that warm look but make it just right for your cool tone girls. Keep watching if you're interested in this look. Foundation, I've been wearing this all summer. I love it. It's the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. It has great coverage, as you can see, and it's heavy, so maybe you think, oh, it's not really a great summer foundation, but you don't need that much of it, and it doesn't feel heavy when it's on your face. It feels like you're set and you're ready to go. And if you're like me and you're outside a lot or you're taking public transportation, I live in New York City and I stand on the subway platform, it usually feels like your face is melting off. With this on, it actually doesn't feel like your face is melting off. So, you know, that's a really great, maybe they should put that on their website. It won't feel like your face is melting off. So anyway, and I prime my eyes with the NARS eye primer. This is my favorite. I don't think anything compares. So now to get right into the warm look that we're going for summer, I'm going to use my Hoola bronzer. And I used to think this was too dark for me, but it's really not. I mean, especially in the summer when the rest of my body has a little bit of a tan, some fake, some real, and this kind of matches up to it. And I think if you wear the right foundation, it's not too dark. And I'm going to use that with my Sephora Pro airbrush. This is a great brush. Honestly, I feel like you can use this brush for almost anything. I remember when I bought it, the guy at Sephora actually told me that. He's like, you can use this for foundation, you can use it for bronzer, powder, blush, and I kind of do. It's a great brush to travel with because you can just use this one brush for almost everything. So I like to just work this in, and then I take this brush, which is the Sigma Large Angled Contour F40, and I just use that a little bit to slightly contour. I haven't been contouring that much during the summer. I think just because I don't really want to have so many products on my face and I don't want to be so fussy. So this just adds a little bit more definition to your face. Then to get into the eye look, which is the real focus of this tutorial, and we're going to be using the Natasha Denona palette 2, number 2. It's eyeshadow palette 5 they call it, but it's palette color number 2. And this is really going to be the focus of everything, and this is where you're going to get your warm look for your cool tone girls. And it's really beautiful, and I'll swatch the colors as we go through it. But to really make this palette work for all the ladies who think that they look better in cool tones like me, I start with this as the base, and this is the NYX Lingerie Eye Tint in color Night Glow. I finally found, oh my god. For some reason, I always look at the bottom for the color name and it wasn't there, and I just realized it's over here. It's Night Glow. And this is a really pretty color. You need very little of this, but I'm gonna swatch it. And hopefully you can see that. It's really pretty because it's not too purple. It has a taupe base, and I think taupe is a really great base color if you like cool tones. It's still neutral, and it still gives you that bronzy look, but it's not too warm. So that's where this is a perfect tone. And I just put a little bit on. I'm not very neat, as you can see, and I think that's better. I think it just doesn't look so perfect that way. And then I'm going to take this Sigma Precision Round P82 and just blend it on the lid. You can definitely use your fingers for this. It's really, really blendable. I love these. I have a bunch of these actually, and I think I'm going to do a few tutorials using some NYX products because I've just been really impressed lately. And I would say that this is similar to the Charlotte Tilbury, the little pots. I have a few of those and I love those, but most of the colors don't work for me. So I went looking for something that was similar that would just be a great base shadow, and that's kind of how I discovered these. And these are about $7 maybe. The Charlotte Tilbury are probably, I don't know, they're probably $35 or something like that. If I had to, maybe a little less if I had to guess. Although I do love Charlotte Tilbury products as well. Okay, so again, it's really not perfect. I'm just going to take this off my hand before it gets all over my dress. It's really not perfect, and that's totally fine. So then we're going to go in with the middle color, and that's called Shell. And that's going to just be our transition shade. And for that, I'm going to use a Sigma Blending E25 brush. I love this brush. Let me just swatch that for you. So put that. It's really nice, and it actually, it's funny because on my hand it does read pretty warm, but you'll see when it's on, it also picks up a little bit of a taupe color. And maybe that's because it's blending in with, obviously, with the base color. Sorry. Then just take that right under the eye as well. And it's starting to heat up. It's definitely starting to heat up, but I think it's flattering. The nice thing about the warm tones is if you have light eyes, or even if you have brown eyes with flecks of yellow or other color mixed in, the warm tones definitely highlight those colors and pick them up, and it makes them look beautiful. So you'll see that'll make my eyes pop. It's just that the rest of it's usually a problem. So then we're going to go in with Lavender Gray, which is this color, which to me looks nothing like lavender gray. To me it looks, I would say, like a rose, a bronze rose, I would call it. So we're going to just pack that on an Hourglass number 3 brush. And I'm just going to pack that on the lid again and on top of the NYX priming product. Again, I'm really not careful because it doesn't matter. It's just going to be a pretty blended bronze look. And then I'm going to take, if I can find it, here. This is a million years old. This is one of the first brushes I think I ever bought. It's Trish McEvoy. It has lasted forever. It just goes to show that if you do buy a few good brushes, they really last forever. You don't need so many, but a couple are a good investment. I'm just putting this under my eye in the corner, just a little bit to tie it together. And then I am going to go in with one of my most used brushes, and this is the Sigma Tapered Blending E45 brush. And I'm going to use that right in the crease here and blend it up. And for that we're going to use, it is called Rosewood, which is and that's this one. It's very similar to the last color we used. I'm going to put it right next to it. It's just a tone darker. It's actually perfect. This is the last one. This is the Rosewood. That is the NYX priming shadow. So it's very, very similar. It's going a little bit redder, but it's just a step deeper, which is nice because it doesn't make anything too jarring. It just it makes it super, super blendable. This palette I found is one of the easiest to work with of the Natasha Denona palettes. I mean, I have three. I think I have 3 palettes now, and not all of them have a matte shade. One is very, very glittery, which is pretty. But this, I think you can do a complete look with this, and I think that you can do several complete looks with this, and I think it's a good palette to travel with because it has that matte shade. You don't really need to pack anything else. You could do a complete look. I have traveled with just this palette and then the NYX and no other eyeshadows, and it's totally fine. So then we're going to just blend it with this Sigma E40 blending brush. Best blending brush ever. Blend, blend. And do you see how we have that deep maroon color starting to create this like sunlit shadow, but yet it's not too red or bronze, and I think that is definitely due to this base color. So I think if you have a good base color that offsets the tones just slightly, you don't have to worry about it going too red on you. Okay, and then we're going to take, this is the Sigma Eye Shading E55, just like a little flat brush, and we're going to use that for, no, it's not Shell, it's Light Coral, which is this one right here. It's the lightest color in the palette, and where am I going to put that? I'm going to put that on this side, just as it's shown in the, it's that one. It's really pretty. So now we're just blending the crease color and that highlighter color. And then I'm just going to take one of these little sponges. They're just, you know, the makeup sponges, the soft ones. And I use these for everything. And I just dab under my eye to pick up any fallout. And really with this palette, I have to say there's not much fallout at all. It's really not bad. So now I'm going to do eyeliner, and this is my favorite. I'm near the very end. I actually have a backup I picked up already because I can't be without it. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury liner in Bedroom Black. I love it, I love it, I love it. It is pricey. Eyeliner is something that I will spend a little bit more on because I feel like there's such a huge difference in each eyeliner. You really have to go with the one that you feel comfortable with. But since it is pricey, I was on the hunt for something that's just a good backup for, you know, like work days when I don't necessarily care if I have the perfect eyeliner on. So, and side note, I'm definitely not putting this on in a perfectly straight line, and I don't care because I'm going to go over it with a liquid liner. I always do that. I just like to have a base of this liner, and I know you're probably thinking, well, then why do you need an expensive liner? I don't know. I don't really have a good answer for that, except that it just looks totally different depending on the eyeliner that I use. So in looking for a dupe, again, I have to say the best dupe has been the NYX eyeliner. I've just been really impressed with their products lately, and they're so affordable that sometimes I just try something and I think, well, if it's not the greatest thing ever, at least it's not such a big investment, and then I'll just give it to a friend if it doesn't work for me but might work for her. But really everything I've been trying I liked, so it was a win-win situation. But the one that I did pick up from them that is comparable to this, I would say it's kind of a cross between the Charlotte Tilbury and Marc Jacobs liners, which I used to love, is the NYX Très Jolie probably not how they intended anyone to say it. And it's nice because it sharpens from within, which is like the Marc Jacobs one. It's actually closer to how the Marc Jacobs formula used to be when they relaunched it, whenever that was. I noticed that they dried out really, really quickly. This is a little bit better, but it's a little harder to smudge than the Charlotte Tilbury. So, you know, that's why I use both. And then to go on top of that, the liquid liner I'm going to use is the Maybelline Precise Curvy. I love this. I'm going to try to do this on camera as, I don't know, it's probably not going to work, but let's try. I love this because it's pretty much foolproof. I like a winged eye. With this, you don't have to go crazy. You kind of just do like a subtle winged eye, which maybe that's not what this looks like to you guys, but to me it kind of does. And like, look how fast that was. Again, another product that you don't have to be careful with. You can kind of just lay it, like, look, you just lay it on the corner of your eye, and there you go, you have a wing. And then you can kind of fill it in from there. Extend it, make it thinner, thicker, whatever you want to do. It's a great product, and it's Maybelline, so it's drugstore. It's pretty well priced. I've been ordering these on Amazon. They're even cheaper. I usually get 2 or 3 at a time because I will say there is not that much product in here, and I go through them pretty quickly. So, but there you go. There's a winged liner. And then we're going to use mascara on top of that. So I'll just quickly put on my mascara, and I've been using the YSL Baby Doll. I have a little sample of it. I've bought this full size many times, and I think this was a Sephora 100 pointer. They've been having a lot of really good 100 point mascaras lately. I used to wait for the big 500 point gifts, and I don't know, I just haven't been that interested in them lately. And I go through mascara so quickly that I thought this was a really good thing to use points on. Just stock up. Every time they have a mascara, I get a couple of them. And then I really haven't been buying a new mascara lately. I just use these, and it's great. So there's a little tip for you to save mascara money. Okay, so I rarely use false lashes. I don't like to take the time to put them on, and I think I look very pageanty in them. I think they're awesome on some people, and every now and then I do put them on just for fun, but for day-to-day look, no way. Never ever gonna happen. I just like to load up with a ton of really awesome mascara. I like lashes to look fluttery and pretty and full, and kind of like fake lashes, I guess you would say. So I'm really liking the look so far. I think that it looks really bronze and pretty, but like just right for my skin tone. I can see that the green in my eyes is really popping out, and I love that. I love that. What's really funny is that I guess my eyes change color, and I think if you have light eyes, you know that, and you probably have the same situation. So I consider my eyes like teal, like bluish green, but usually more green than blue. And I went to the DMV to get a new picture taken. Finally, like I had to renew my license. I didn't just go to have my picture taken. And I filled out all the paperwork, took the picture, fine, whatever, got my license 10 days, 2 weeks later, and I wrote on the form, eye color green, and the woman working there apparently disagreed with me because my license came back and it said eye color blue. So I guess the woman at the DMV knows me better than I know myself. What can I say? Then we're going to go in with the last color, which is the maroon, which is right here. The very darkest color. It's so pretty. I hope you guys can really see how beautiful it is. I'm going to swatch that as well, right next to the lightest color, so it should show up really pretty. Yeah, it shows up. And it's a plum color with red undertones. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful color. And I thought it wasn't going to look good on me. I thought it was going to look too red. It doesn't. It's fine. You just have to use it sparingly. So the way that I use it, where it doesn't take over my face and look too red and really conflict with my skin tone is I put it on this smudge brush. This is a Laura Mercier smudge brush, and I just pat it under my eyes as a liner, and it just brings everything together and it makes your eyes look hot and fiery but not too dark. I love putting a little color over a black liner. You get the best of both worlds. See? So pretty. And then I'm going to take this e.l.f. crease brush. It's just a small little one. This is another good one to use for liquid shadows or gel shadows. I don't know why, but it just works really well. It's just a small brush and it pats on nicely. So I'm going to take just a small amount of that. Very, very small on this brush. And start from the corner and just add just a little bit of that into the crease, just to tie things together. It's very subtle. Do it on this side. Just to bring in that warmth a little bit. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit more on in a second after I do concealer. So then I'm going to do under eye concealer to really make the look pop, and that's when I really see how my eyes look once I put the concealer on. And off. This is my favorite. This is in color number 2. They kind of discontinued this in the US. I mentioned that to you guys in my first video. But I stocked up. I really stocked up. And I've seen it here and there, so I'm not going to get too worried just yet. And then I'm just going to take that smudge brush again with the darkest maroon color and just go back under my eye, just in case the concealer disrupted it at all. I love it! Okay, now to like complete the full glowy summer effect, we're going to use my favorite highlighter, and this is the Cover FX in Moonlight. This thing is going to last, like this, I think is going to last me forever because you need such the smallest bit that I don't see how, sorry, that's my mirror, you guys. I don't see how I'm ever going to finish it, which is great. But I guess if I mixed it into my foundation, I would go through it faster, which is not a bad idea. I did that once or twice, but I always forget about that. I put a little on my nose. Okay, so now that we have the Cover FX on, I think you can see it. I'm going to go on top of that with this Zoe highlighter in Topaz. I think that's how you say it. I think that's what they write on their website. And this is the Sephora Pro Fan brush. This is also a really warm tone highlighter, and I think it ties really nicely back to the palette if we hold it together. Kind of looks, you know what, it kind of looks like one shade below this color. So it really does tie in nicely and it gives you that warm glow. But on, it complements the bronzer really nicely. So we'll do that, and then we'll just put on some blush. This is the Tarte birthday blush that Sephora gave out. It's called Party, P-A-R-T-Y, really Party. Then I'm just going to use, put a little here. Okay. And the last step before we set is just going to be the lipstick. I'm going to line my lips, and I'm going to do a light glittery, not glittery, that sounds a little much, but I guess a little bit glittery, nude gloss look. That sounds just about right. I'm going to line my lips with MAC Oh Honey. This is one of my favorite liners. it kind of goes with anything light, whether it's nude, peach, or pink. It goes with anything. And then for lipstick, I'm going to use, this is one of my favorites, you guys. This is Charlotte Tilbury Penelope Pink. It smells good too. And it smells like vanilla, all of her lipsticks do. I just purchased a backup of this. Actually, there's a really good sale on the Charlotte Tilbury website right now where you can get some of the pre-packaged sets, which actually there's one, the one that I purchased comes with this, and it comes with a shadow stick and a mascara, and it's on sale, so you already were saving money, but now it's on sale even more. So I will link that. Hopefully it's still available. I just bought it last week. And then right on top of that, I'm using the Laura Mercier Sparkling Gloss. This is a green neutral. So there you go. There we have our summer bronzy warm tone look for cool girls. I'm just going to spray now. I'm going to cover my hair so it doesn't get all wet. And this is my favorite. It's the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I'm sure everyone uses the same thing. It's great. I didn't believe the hype. I was using something else for a while. This is definitely the best. And then just one more thing I'm going to do that I didn't do before is, since it is hot, I don't do this all year round, but since it is pretty warm right now, I put a little bit of setting powder, and this is Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. I'm going to put a little bit of that under my eye, just really a very small amount. There you go. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Let me know if you're interested in more warm tone looks for cool girls, and I hope to see you back here real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.